know somebody. So be true, be real, and be you. Ta-da. Thank you. So right now, this guy I've known him for almost half my life, which is a long time, guys. I'm getting old, and so are you. His name, well, he's performed all over the world as a percussionist, as a drummer, as a musician, and he has recently turned to directing. So I just said, come and share with us a little bit about your process and what you do. So his name is Miles Crawford. Welcome.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, for our featured guest.
Sit down and talk. So, Miles.
Yes.
I'm just gonna go right into it because I can't do the whole history because it's a very short conversation and I just want to get straight to the process part. So, being that you are you classically trained in any sort of dance, drumming, directing? Segue to your directing thing. Are you trained?
No, I went to. I took formal drum lessons. I think for about 6 months.
At what age?
At the age of 10, and I would go home and I would put on headphones and I would play the music that I liked and would want to play to, and then I would go back in and he would have a book set up.
Yeah, that's it.
He would have a book of whatever he had given me, and I hadn't worked on that, but I had played. Oh, sorry. He would, I'd go and the book he gave me with the rudiments and everything like that I hadn't worked on, but I'd played my favorite song, and after about 6 months he was like, your playing's improving, but not in the way that I'm showing you, so unless you want to do what we're doing here, you should probably quit and just do your own thing.
And that's what you did.
And that's what I did.
Okay. I wish we had 2 mics. Oh, thanks, bud. Now, but the same is true with your directing, drumming, stomping. What would be, you're up against a lot of people that have been trained, that are actually directors, that went to film school, that has gone through that. I don't want to say, because I don't want to down education, because education is awesome, but kind of a standardized way of going about things, and you did not choose that route. How's that been for you and your artist life? Surely, has there ever been times when you're like, fuck this instability shit, like I need something stable? Or what would you say to people who are going that route that's not commonly, the road less traveled?
Right, well, no, sorry, I should say that I was formally trained, and I did go to music school for a little bit. I went to music school for a little bit, and then I dropped out, and then I went on tour for like 10 years and played in Stomp and the Soft Broadway show, and we went sort of did it around the world, and then I came back, and I saw that there was sort of this level of musicianship that was expected for session players, especially in Los Angeles and New York, and so I decided to go to music school, and I went for about a year and learned all this stuff that then when I graduated I had to shed, because I think arts education, it puts technique on you, but that's it, and it doesn't really allow you space necessarily for your own creativity. And I found a lot of people when I was playing sort of what I had learned in school were like, no, that feels a little dry. And so the technique was helpful. In arts education, I think the technique is incredibly helpful. Certainly if you're, there are certain, like dancing and music, I think specifically technique is incredibly helpful. But the one thing that they can't teach you, and I discovered this, I guess the hard way, is expression and your own creativity and your own voice. And the only way that I feel like I found that, and now doing directing, I did not decide to go back into film school after having done a little bit of music school, was because it seems to me that the people that know their own voice are the people that are doing whatever it is that they do all the time. And I actually saw this great thing that Bobby McFerrin talked about, how he discovered his thing that he does. And he said, I would just set a timer, and I would set it for like 6 minutes, and I would just sing. And shit starts to get real weird around 2 minutes. And then he would just go further and further. And after I left school and didn't know what I was as a drummer anymore, I started doing the same thing, and I would go in and not listen to anybody else and just start playing and see what came out. And now with directing, it's kind of been the same thing. I got a camera about a year ago, and I've just been shooting constantly. And I've done a couple music videos and a couple short films, and today's Saturday night, one of my shorts was shown at LACMA as part of the Young Directors Night. Which was
is amazing.
Amazing.
I will say too, quick,
amazing.
Thank you. That his stuff on YouTube, if you go see it at Giant Miles, all his stuff can be found at giantmiles.com.
And I have stuff here.
And he's going to show you something right now, but all of it, like a lot of his shit's gone viral, and you want to know how things get viral. Pay attention to the people who are getting viral. Here's one for those of you who are in the internet game. Do you want to show us one of your videos? But before we do that, because that's going to be the closing, is there anything that you would say to people coming up in this who may not have the money to be classically trained, or what would you say for people to keep going?
I don't necessarily think that being classically trained is necessary. Obviously, like loving what you do is really, obviously if you're choosing an artist's life, you're choosing a harder path, right? There's nothing about, and I'm looking at everyone here, and we're all peers. I don't feel like I necessarily have anything above your knowledge or experience, but so it feels weird to be saying, but from my own experience, I'll just say this, that whatever it is that you want to do, just do it all the time. Because it is the only way that you will get better at it, and it's the only way that you will be recognized for it, and I think it's the only way that you will be authentic to yourself and your voice, and that your art will be yours. And I hope this isn't a tangent, but I'm just going to say real quick. I've been watching a lot of the Cosmos, and they've been talking about evolution, and that evolution is essentially mutation that's happening, and if that mutation happens to be an advantage, it will propagate, and anything that doesn't have that mutation anymore will die off. And I was talking to my girlfriend, who's right over there by the column, about this the other day, that artists are the same. That we come up trying to be like somebody else. You know, we have the people that we're influenced by, and we're like, man, I want to make music just like Tom Waits, or I want to make movies just like Spike Lee, or I want to paint just like Picasso, or whatever, right? And you can't, because that's their expression, and then we fuck up trying. And if we're lucky, we keep messing up trying, and those mess ups are actually our voice. And I feel like those are the mutations. You know, that mess up is the mutation, and that is the evolution of art. If you actually are able to copy or influence, you don't change anything, you don't evolve art, you don't bring anything new. And so I feel like mess up a lot. Do a lot, mess up a lot, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Miles. He's gonna show us a short video, and then we'll continue with the open mic. Thank you for coming, Miles, and sharing with us.
Mama, hey.